Shout out to Sherry's Berries for sponsoring this update. You got a loved one with a sweet tooth? Well, satisfy it with the gift of Sherry's Berries. Get a dozen berries dipped in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness starting at $19.99 plus shipping. To make an order and ditch the gift shopping stress, just visit berries.com, click the microphone in the top right corner and enter "The Know" to find our deal. Welcome to The Know, I'm Mica. We finally have the November NPD Report, which tracks retail sales in North America, so now we know who some of the big winners of the game industry were for the biggest shopping month of the year. And judging by the report, that winner was everybody. In total, spending across the industry was up 30% in all categories from last November. Both the PS4 and the Xbox had huge months, with PS4 knocking out its best month ever and Xbox having its best November ever, which is pretty impressive considering both are so far into their life cycles. As for the software side of things, Call of Duty World War II instantly became the best-selling game of 2017 at retail, and even the best-selling game since last November. It's also the biggest Call of Duty moneymaker for the franchise since Black Ops 2 in 2012. And another highlight was Assassin's Creed Origins. In its 2 months since launch, it's generated more consumer spend than any Assassin's Creed title since 2014. So, good job, video game industry. Keep on raking in those dollars and turning them into more fun games for us to play. Earlier this week, YouTuber Almighty Dak made some major waves with an insider report that Battlefield Bad Company 3 was going to be 2018's Battlefield release. He also dropped a ton of information about alleged weapons, game modes, and the game's setting. However, he's now walking some of that information back just a little bit, and others are coming out with a few rebuttals as well. Eurogamer writes that according to their sources, Bad Company 3 is not next year's game. It seems there are actually 2 projects in development, one from DICE Sweden, which is centered around World War II, and one from DICE LA, which might be Bad Company 3. In light of that, Dak released another new video, this time dishing out some of the World War II info, namely that it's picking up a lot of the same style as Battlefield 1 with big, expansive maps. He also edited the original video title to remove the 2018 mention. Eurogamer writes that they believe Bad Company 3 may exist, it's just in a much earlier state. Nintendo's patented its fair share of weird, useless shit, but we might have a new invention from the company that really takes the cake. Nintendo has, for some freaking reason, patented robot legs. Sure! Users on Reset Era discovered the patent for a passive walking device this week, prompting tons of jokes about Rob walking simulators and that the next Switch would carry you instead of the other way around. If you're unsure about what a passive walking device is, it's basically a pair of robot legs driven not by a motor or gears, but by its own momentum. Think a Slinky, only, you know, with your legs. Yeah, we've got no clue why Nintendo would patent something like this, but there you go. Sorry, Wii Vitality Sensor, you've been dethroned by the robot overlords, like we will all be someday. One of the big rumors of last year was about Pokémon Stars, the supposed Pokémon Switch game that was originally leaked by Eurogamer for a potential holiday 2017 release. We now know that Nintendo has announced their mainline Pokémon title, but that it might not even be out until after 2018. So, what happened to that original plan? Well, things sadly changed. Eurogamer has a new report out now about what happened with Pokémon Stars and why it didn't release this year. According to their sources, Nintendo was being very conservative with the Switch when it first launched, but once they saw how well the system was moving and knew they were on track with Mario and Zelda in year 1, they reshuffled the game's assets, so it's basically turned into Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 3DS. The project then morphed into something a bit bigger to make its debut on Nintendo's new console at a later date, so now you know why you're back in Alola on the 3DS instead of on your Switch, and trust me, all of our hearts are breaking too. Are we getting a remaster of the super popular last generation racing game Burnout Paradise? Well, maybe, according to one retailer. Brazilian website gamespress.br writes that they came across a PS4 and Xbox One versions of Burnout Paradise listed on a Brazilian retailer, which would indicate that remastered titles are on the way. The listing put the games at 150 Brazilian real, which translates to about $45 US. At the moment, EA's official position on remasters is that they're not interested, and Criterion Games, the game's original developer, said last year that they were too busy working on future things. That being said, it's possible another developer has picked up the reins for a potential remaster, as that's a fairly common practice right now. We will just have to wait and see if Paradise's special brand of racing mayhem is on its way out to current consoles. It looks like that good old Atari Box is having some problems. It was supposed to go up for pre-orders yesterday, but Engadget reports that it's now on hold because of development issues. In an email, Atari said it's taking longer than previously thought to create the platform and ecosystem the Atari community deserves. They're expected to discuss a new launch plan in the coming weeks, so we'll know more then. We don't have a ton of details about the retro console yet, but it's supposed to be in the whopping $250 to $300 range with an AMD processor and a Linux operating system. No word yet on what games might be included, but we'll keep you posted. Is a new Dead or Alive in the works? Well, Team Ninja says it's got a big announcement this weekend at the Battle Royale 2017 Grand Finals at NEC 18, and everyone thinks they'll announce something related to that franchise. In a tweet, the dev wished good luck to all the fighters in the tournament and added, "Make sure to stick around until the finals are over. There will be an announcement once the prizes are given to champions on December 17th. Possibly Dead or Alive 6? The 5th installment is getting pretty old these days, and Team Ninja has already said that there won't get any more DLC. So we'll know more soon, and now all I'm thinking about is boobs on the beach." I know that's not correct, but it's all I'm thinking about. Some bad news for Devil May Cry fans. That new HD collection isn't going to be as sweet as we thought. Capcom told US Gamer that it doesn't have plans to add 4K support to the new Devil May Cry HD collection for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It'll just run 60 FPS and 1080p. You might remember that this is the second HD collection for the series that collects the first 3 DMC games. The first one came out in 2012 for PS3 and Xbox 360. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer that this one won't include 4K support, but hey, that's still a really good collection. Google has released YouTube VR for the HTC Vive on Steam, but apparently it's a bit of a mess. The Verge's reviewer couldn't even get to it work on his PC because it kept crashing instantly, and a number of Steam users are reporting having similar issues. A dev responded and said they're actively investigating crashes, so that's a good sign at least. Previously, YouTube VR was only available on Google's Daydream, so it's kinda cool now that they're making it available for other headsets. Only if they can get it to work, because that's important. The Last Jedi had a historic opening last night. The movie raked in $45 million, which set a record for the second largest Thursday night in North America. It's behind only The Force Awakens, which made $57 million and beat out Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And it looks like people really liked what they saw. ComScore's post-track determined that 68% of the audience members rated it excellent, and another 21% called it very good, and 82% said they would definitely recommend the film. So yeah, sounds good, but remember, please, no spoilers if you've seen it. Don't be that guy. I've seen it. You don't see me spoiling it. Could you and Siri one day be able to whisper sweet nothings to each other? That's a really creepy sentence. Apple filed for a patent to do just that back in 2016, Gizmodo discovered, and it seeks to patent a digital assistant that's capable of detecting a whispered speech input and providing a whispered speech response. Why would you need that? Well, Apple gives a few scenarios like studying in a library where speaking loudly may be prohibited, or while working in a cubicle with other coworkers surrounding the user. Or you could just type things, but sure, we'll see if anything comes of it. Companies often file patents for ideas that never see the light of day. Go right back to Nintendo filing robot legs, but it's definitely interesting. And on that note, that's all the news we have for you today. Remember to comment on any of your favorite news stories below, and for more news from all the corners of the internet, whispery or not, like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Thanks to Sherry's Berries for sponsoring this update. If you've ever panicked over last-minute holiday gift shopping, you know it can be super stressful, so don't do that this year. Make it easy on yourself. Give the gift of dipped strawberries that will satisfy any sweet tooth. Sherry's Berries offers a dozen dipped berries in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness starting at just $19.99 plus shipping and handling. And you can set that delivery date when you order. Or if you want to make sure there are a few spares so that you can snag some too, you can double the berries for an additional $10, and they throw in a keepsake dessert platter. Plus they've got awesome holiday treats too, like snowman brownie pops, cheesecake Christmas trees, and artisanal chocolate truffles. To get a dozen dipped berries for $19.99 plus shipping, just visit berries.com, click the microphone in the top right corner, enter the code THEKNOW in the search bar there, and that will bring up the deal, and you'll have your shopping all sorted out stress-free.